like 58 degrees this morning. A week ago it was 90. The highs were in the upper 90s. And today I believe the high is 75 at the most. So it's nice. It feels like it's finally football weather. Headed to breakfast this morning. We have a monthly breakfast every second Saturday of the month. So I'm heading to LA with my wife. We're leaving the kids here. This is in a few weeks. But I started looking into possibly renting a motorcycle while I was out there. And there's a place that actually does rent Ducatis, so I was thinking about renting a Hyperstrada, which is, it's the like a Hypermotard, basically, the new Hypermotard that's got a little windshield and some saddlebags on it. But I was thinking, the reason I was thinking about renting that is because it's going to be, you know, small and really easy to maneuver, and I won't have to think about what I'm doing on it, unlike if I were to get the Multistrada, which I would love, but I think just for riding for half a day, you know, pick it up in the morning, head out of town, in a very unfamiliar place, because I've never even been to LA. They do have a 796, which is what I ride on the daily. And, oh, I hate this highway right here. It's a little bouncy. I could rent that, but, you know, why get the same bike you've got? That, and I know it's going to have the stock fuel map and all that, and that'll just annoy the crap out of me if I rode it, because once you get your ECU reflashed on at least on the newer monsters, you kind of realize, oh wow, the fueling is from the factory is, I don't know how they arrived at what they did, but it sucks. It shudders like crazy below 4,000 RPM, and here, I'm gonna slow down and I can show you, hopefully you can see the RPMs. There is 2,000 RPM and it is just butter smooth all the way up. Now, stock, before I did that, before I had the ECU reflashed, if I was below 4,000 at all, it would just be, you know, I mean, it felt like a, I don't know, it felt like a Harley, I would say, but I mean, I think even Harleys are smoother than that. Yeah, so I don't think I want a monster with stock fueling for a rental. So I've mentioned that I am a home brewer, and I think I'm going to brew a beer today. We're also cooking fajitas. My brother-in-law brought he calls it outside skirt, and I don't know exactly the cut, but it's basically it's skirt steak cut, and he slices it up into these strips, and then we cook it on the disco. He calls it the Mexican wok. And basically, you take a disc off of the farm implement disc, and you know, those things, they break and stuff once in a while, so you got to replace them. Yep. dull. And anyway, they're readily available in the farming communities. So to take one off, well, there's a hole in the middle, and I should put up a picture of a disc now. And there's a hole in the middle of the disc that you weld shut, and then so that makes it, you know, so stuff doesn't leak out. And then weld on some handles on it, and then you've got basically a makeshift shallow walk, and you put it on like a turkey fryer burner, and it's a pretty simple process. You use, like, I can't remember, I think you use a little salt and pepper, but basically just dumps a little beer in and sautés them, and you keep just enough beer in there so they don't dry out. And you put in vegetables and stuff too, and it makes just damn good fajitas. Sprint car on a stick. Oh, starting to look like fall all of a sudden. Corn dried out. The beans are starting to change color. I think the crops are a few weeks behind. Oh man, construction. I forgot there was construction. What time is it? 7:51. I think I'm just gonna go through the construction. Be calm. I was thinking I might make a quick detour, but I suppose this is the spot where I would use one of those cutaways, but I don't have a second camera angle. Hey, if you haven't seen the YouTube videos from, oh, what's his name? I just forgot. He's a comedian that Moto vlogs, tooling around. You can look for that. Andy Brunel, I think is his name. Anyway, he's a fairly well-known comedian. I've seen him before, and I happened upon his video blog, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I started watching him, and yeah, he's talked to a couple topics that were kind of funny. I like his setup. He's got a camera that faces him, and he rides around on a Victory big cruiser, and you know, he wears a little half helmet and or an open face, and when he talks, he'll look into the camera some, and you know, but you can see Hawaii back behind him and above him. And man, if you haven't been to Hawaii, put it on your list. Hey, my buddy Jeff's right up there. Ooh, what do we got here? Oh, 2-smoker for sale. I'm sure that hasn't been beat on or anything. Oh, Jeffy. So he's on I don't remember what year it is, but it's a 1100, the BMW 1100 GS, and that thing has got somewhere in the neighborhood of 300,000 miles on it. Not kidding. He's been to Alaska a few times on it, Florida, I know at least once, maybe twice, Black Hills a bunch. Oh, he's not even looking. Hey! What the hell? Funny. Maybe he saw me and he was just ignoring me. There was one day I told him, I rode behind him. I can't remember if it was when we went to Missouri or if it was just one time after breakfast. I said, "Guys, the taillight's on that thing. I can barely see it even when you brake." He goes, "Oh, really?" And I swear to God, I think it was after breakfast, because the next month, he pulls in and I see those two big taillights off. They're just LED cheap trailer lights. And he probably, knowing him, he got them from Harbor Freight and wired them up, but they are nice and bright. He hits the brakes and you go, whoa! I've been thinking lately that I miss the adventure bike style riding. I think I've said before, I had a V-Strom 650. I bought it in, I believe, September. Yeah, right about this time of year in 2004. So it was the first model year of the 650 V-Strom. What do you point at? Oh, turkey. And I owned that thing until the spring, well, actually winter, January. What did it? It was into January, 1st of February of 2013. So I took it on a few decent rides out to Colorado Black Hills. I know I think I said all this stuff before, but point being, there's a reason they're becoming very popular. People are finally catching on, and manufacturers are finally making more of them. Before it was just basically BMW, and then Suzuki came into the fray, and there were always like the Kawasaki KLR, but that's not, I mean, it is a true adventure bike, but it's a single cylinder 650, and there's guys who ride them all day long across the country, but yeah, no thanks. Right, get something with 2 cylinders, because and a little more displacement, because it's so much more comfortable and smooth when you've got that extra power. Anyhow, there's a reason they're becoming very popular, and that is because they are comfortable, they handle great, you can still haul stuff, most of them are extremely reliable. It just really is, for me, it is the perfect motorcycle. And I do miss one. Okay, so check out the traffic here. That is I-80 toward Omaha, and it is a Saturday morning at 8 o'clock, and it is bumper to bumper. Why? Husker football. It's crazy. It's an 11 a.m. game today, and everybody's headed down to go tailgate and hang out. Oh yeah, there, you saw the brake lights. Those are nice and bright. Anyway, Husker game day is crazy. Adventure bikes are awesome. Hawaii is beautiful. Coffee is needed. And I'm also hungry for breakfast. Hopefully I'll get a haircut later today. Make beer, eat fajitas, watch some football, go Irish. I guess I'll say go Huskers, even though living in Lincoln will burn you out on the Huskers unless you, I think, grow up from a little kid here. I don't know. I'm not a Husker guy. No offense, Huskers GBR. But hey, everybody's got their team or their thing. Not everybody likes motorcycles either, right, brother? All right, I'm out of here. It's time for, you know what? I'm going to leave it on. I left it on this long. I'm going to leave it on long enough for us to go the extra quarter mile, half mile, and you can see the old Honey Creek Restaurante. We're sneaking in the back way. Highway 6 is just right up there at the T, and the Honey Creek is that green roofed spot right there. And the old Grupo Motos, there's Randy with his Moto. Honey Creek, Honey Creek. All right, later.